Joining us now, House of Delegates member, Democrat. Yes, there are Democrats in the House of Delegates, although they are in the super minority. And he represents the 87th District, Delegate John Bell. And he won the seat previously held by the Fräulein's favorite House of Delegates member of all time, David Ramadan, who is now retired. Although we did battle with David over the Trump thing and the pledge and all that, right? Remember all that thing. Hey, David, I won. You lost. Have a good day. Joining us now, Delegate John Bell. Hey, Delegate Bell, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning. Thanks for having me on the show. Great to be here. And I am going to remember that fun is fun. That is my theme for the day.
Fun is fun, man. We have a lot of fun. You got to have fun. And even though you might not secretly might think this one or the other, the Trump administration is going to be so much fun. I was talking to one of your colleagues from Northern Virginia, Democrat House of Delegates member. I can't say his name because, you got all that politics thing going on. But he's pretty liberal. And he said to me, he said, look, yeah, I voted for Clinton, all that. But he said, I got to be honest, I can't wait until next Friday because he said, this is so much fun. He said, if Clinton was in there, it'd be the same old stuff with the same old people doing the same old thing, no change. He said, every day you wake up, you don't know what the hell's going to happen. And he said,
I agree with that. It's the news media has got to be celebrating with this inauguration because, if there's ever someone who knows how to give you a good soundbite, it's Donald Trump. And I also am privately very happy over, we're going to have 4 good years at least of Saturday Night Live. There's no doubt about it.
We're going to have that. Plus, look, I get a lot of fodder on my show, so it's going to be fun for us every day. As you know, I'm a unapologetic Trump movement supporter from day one. So I'm excited about the chaos that's going to go on to upset the establishment, get rid of the neocons and all that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Delegate Bell, let me just ask you a very candid question, right? So you go up there, you got 45 days, you're in the super minority, right? So you get elected, you're in Northern Virginia, you're a Democrat in the House. You can't really go to the bathroom there without permission from Speaker Howell, right? He runs the government. I mean, is that kind of a downer? Like, you can't really get anything done?
Well, it's first serving in the House of Delegates is just a huge honor. Every day I walk in there in that very ornate chamber, it's a real honor. The biggest surprise I had coming down here was just how nice everybody was on both sides of the aisle. I mean, there is a Virginia way. We've skirmished over some issues, but overall, I think people do cooperate. I was very honored last year to get a bill passed, and when the governor signed it, it was a great honor. It was a consumer protection bill, so I'm very proud of that. And then I was part of some other bills where I worked with several Republican members. And as a retired military officer, I was able to use my background there, I think, to make bills better. Scott Taylor and I actually debated a bill, now Congressman Scott Taylor, and it was restoring, actually was allowing concealed carry for military members on bases, National Guardsmen in Virginia. And I was in favor of the bill. I just wanted to make sure that we made sure we gave the commanding officer the ability to exercise discretion if there's situations where they shouldn't happen around classified information, weapons, etc. And Delegate Michael Webert and I actually worked together on a bill which was restoring concealed carry weapon rights for convicted felons who served honorably in the military. The original bill that was presented did not classify the length of service for the right restoral, nor did it classify the type of discharge. And the last thing I want to do, I'm all for giving people a second chance and rewarding good behavior, but is give back rights if somebody gets dishonorable discharge, for instance. They certainly don't deserve a right restoral. So they were both very willing to work with me, and I think we got something really good accomplished. So I'm a very pragmatic person. I'll work with anybody to get something good done.
Oh, look, that makes a lot of sense, and I agree with you. That's why I love doing my show. From the General Assembly, I was up there. Tuesday, I was in DeSteff's office, Senator DeSteff. Wednesday, in Scott Surville's office, because there is definitely a Virginia way. There's no question about it. And that doesn't mean it in a snobby way. It's just people try to get along, work with each other, put their differences aside, ideology differences, and just have conversations with each other. And it's really great to be there because it's government in action, and there's just not a lot of nasty stuff going on. In fact, I bumped into the Godfather yesterday, Dick Saslaw, minority leader in the state Senate, And I said, hey, too bad you lost that District 22 race. I know you guys put $100,000 in it, and Republicans maintain control. And he said, look, I've got a great relationship with Tommy Norman. We meet every day. We really try to get things done for the people of Virginia in the right way. There's things he said we don't agree on, but he said, we have a great relationship, and we try to find the best things that we can do to move Virginia ahead. So I think that really separates Virginia out from a lot of these other states, right?
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think there's going to be a lot of cooperation on some issues that we're working on this year. One of the things that has hit me personally, affected my son, and I believe will be bipartisan, is attacking the opioid crisis, which is affecting all parts of Virginia and is really a nationwide crisis right now. And the thing I know about addiction is it doesn't care what party you're in. There are victims and there are problems with it. We need to address that, and I think there's many things like that we do come together. There's going to be disagreements, but I respect the all sides of an issue, and I know that people with good hearts and good intentions have different feelings about things than I do. And if you're in the majority, certainly you have the ability to push those things forward. That's the way America and democracies work, and I respect that very much.
Delegate Bell, what are some of, beyond the opioid thing, which I agree with you 100%, I mean, this is a national crisis, and it's a big deal in Virginia. Going into this session, Delegate Bell, what are some of your other top priorities?
I introduced a bill. It's HB 1986, and it actually increases the penalty for computer trespassing. As the internet continues to grow at a rapid rate, we've had tons of problems with cyber stalking, bullying, and good people kind of being blackmailed with that. And if people are taking over someone's computer, getting in where they shouldn't be, that should be a crime. And this is a bill I'm proud to carry. I've got several bills related to business, trying to increase competitive negotiations with contracts. And that bill for that, actually, I'm carrying for Loudoun County at their request, which really makes it more of a best value for the government. It's HB 1808. I'm also carrying another bill which would put best value procurement in contracts for professional services, 1880. Looking at some things to protect regulations for toll roads. This is a big problem. People just being charged too much to get back and forth to work, and I want to do things to help with that. I've got a bill in which would tweak the proffer bill that came through last year. Was pretty controversial, and this is HB 1898, and what I'm looking for there is to do something about the affordable dwelling units, because I think that's an unintended consequence of that bill, because unfortunately now affordable dwelling units just aren't being built, and that makes it more difficult for people to get started. Got another bill, 1988, which I think is a great bill. It actually would change the lights on state streets and parking lots for state buildings to LED lights, which saves about 50% of the electricity. They last over 10 years, so the cost savings really pays for itself in about 2 to 3 years. And the other great news is we've got 3 Virginia companies make LED lights. So, the bulbs we use now come from China. So overall, it saves $5-6 million a year for us. But the good news is we're buying products from America. And I don't see a reason why we wouldn't do that, given the rapid payback, good for the environment, and it really just makes good sense. So I'm going to work on a variety of different bills, and I look forward to hopefully getting some good stuff done. I know we have budget issues we need to talk about this session. But I'm looking forward to it.
Look, I think your LED legislation makes a lot of sense because it's also brighter and better lighting than a traditional bulb. That people don't realize. We just put them in. I coach middle school basketball. We just put it in our gym over the holiday, and the first time I walked in it after we got back, I was like, wow. It was just so much brighter. And they did the same thing. They did the cost analysis and said, yeah, we'll put out this much money to install, but then over so much time, you actually accrue a savings over what you spent to put it in there, and they're made in Virginia, so that makes sense. Let me ask you about this. Democrat State Senator Scott Survell is advancing a bill called the Hands-Free Safety Bill, basically wants to adopt what they have in New Jersey, Maryland, D.C., that you cannot text when you're driving. We have that kind of on the books in Virginia, but it's a toothless tiger. They want to make it where you're going to get a citation if you're texting. And also, if you hurt somebody and the cops get your phone and you were texting, that's bad. You can go to prison for that. D.C. has it. New Jersey's got it. Maryland has it. Some people in the General Assembly I talk to, they think it's a bigger intrusion for government, but it has proven that people that are texting look at their phone for about 5 seconds. That's not a positive thing. How do you stand on this?
Yeah, I support that bill. And I think if we look at it right now, it's, there's been several studies that show that texting is actually even a bigger impairment to driving than being under the influence of substances or alcohol. And so it's a problem we need to address. This year I've actually done 2 ride-alongs, one with the Loudoun County Sheriffs. I did a 7 to 7 shift in Sterling, and I did another one with Virginia State Police out in western Loudoun. And what I saw there is it's amazing how many accidents or problems are caused by distracted drivers who are texting. So, it has become a threat, and it's a problem. And I actually recently heard remarks by one of my Loudoun, our senior Loudoun delegate, Ted Greason, was talking about his how much he's against texting because he's got a daughter who's getting ready to become a driver, and that's something that he's concerned about. So I think it's a modern issue that we need to deal with. I understand the people would worry about intrusion. I would ask people to pull over if they need to text, or to use a hands-free system. Many of the systems today you can use, with voice activated. You don't need to use your fingers to do texting. So, but it's a matter of life and death, and I think we have to protect people and make sure that we deal with this problem because it is a real problem for people on the roads.
Okay, look, I'm in favor of this because there's so many people that are now looking at their phone when they're texting. And what Scott Servo said yesterday really threw me for a loop. He's like, if you're going 60 miles an hour, he said, in 5 seconds, you're going like a football field and a half. And you don't realize how fast that is. And so many things are happening on the road. Just a bad idea. So I'm in favor of that as well. Hey, we're out of time. I want to thank House of Delegates member from the 87th House District. That's in Loudoun County, Democrat John Bell, for being with us. John, appreciate your hard work and the things that you're working on. Thanks for the update. We'll have you back as this session rolls on, John. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, John, and best wishes. Have a great day, and fun.
All right, if people want more information, John, on your district or yourself or your re-election campaign, where do they go?
My website's John Bell for Delegate, just FOR Delegate, or you can go find me on Facebook. We provide tons of updates, week by week newsletters, things like that. And also, you can, if you go to the Virginia General Assembly website, you can get a look at all the pieces of legislation, more text on them, and also where they're at in the legislative process. So I'm also available. You can email me at Delegate jbell, DEL Jbell, at house.virginia.gov, and I will quickly respond to you.